Hello and welcome back to Destination Venus here under the stairs at Harrogate's Everyman Cinema. It is part 8, the final part of what's on the rack for this week. I know I said there would be 9. I've condensed part 9 into part 8 because it turns out part 9 would have been just ridiculously short otherwise. So yeah, I called it in the air, alright? Okay, so what have we got? Well, we start with the return of an old friend, Superman, Kal-El, the Man of Steel, Clark Kent. Has been away for a little while in space doing stuff. He's back. He came back in Action Comics issue 1050 a couple of weeks ago. Now he's back in his titular book, Superman, issue 1. And it's a great restart. Few changes at the Daily Planet. Young Jimmy Olsen has a girlfriend, and Lois Lane has taken over from Perry White as editor-in-chief of the Planet while Perry is out on sabbatical. And I've got the feeling she's going to be a moderately tough boss. Lex Luthor, as you can see from the back cover, is currently incarcerated, still taunting the Man of Steel from behind bars, although now he says he wants to help. Not entirely sure Clark appreciates Lex's way of helping, but hey. I'm really enjoying this. It's nice to see Superman being optimistic again, and the art kind of reflects that. It's nice and bright, nice and cheerful, and that's what Superman should be, I think. It's good to have him back. I've not always been a Superman guy, but it is good to have him back. And speaking of Superman, the final part, the third part of Superman Space Age, written by Mark Russell, illustrated by the brilliant Mike Allred, and coloured by his wife, the amazing Laura Allred. She's such an astounding colourist, particularly over Mike's work. This again has been a fun ride, and I haven't read this yet. I'm really looking forward to seeing where it goes. So that's out this week. We also have Thor, issue 31. I'm really enjoying the new sort of rugged art style that we've got in Thor at the moment. There's also a backup story in here, guest starring Black Panther, if you want a bit more Black Panther in your life. Then we have Tiger Division issue 4, as the sort of East Asian half of Marvel continues to develop. I like that Marvel is doing this. They're being a little bit a bit less US-centric, exploring new parts of the world, which give you new possibilities, new folklores to explore. And then we have the final part of Titans United Blood Pack, issue 6 of 6. This is it, the grand finale, the big, explosive final battle. Which, look, it's probably going to go well. I haven't read it yet, but it probably is. So I wouldn't worry too much about the Titans. But do come and pick up the book and see how we go. Now, I'm going to show you issue 3 of Vineyard. I should be showing you issue 4, but it's just occurred to me that literally 2 minutes before we started recording this, I sold the copy of issue 4 that was out and I haven't replaced it. Rest assured we do have it. It is in. Aftershock is beginning to get its house in order. It's been a little bumpy getting stuff in from Aftershock. There have been some very serious delays for reasons that will be obvious if you've been keeping up with the gossip in sort of general comics. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed for them. I'm a huge, huge fan of Aftershock, and I really hope they get through this rough patch. It's looking good so far. And issue 4 of Vineyard, cracking. Then we have Voyages, I've no idea how to pronounce this, out from Image. This is issue 4. And this again has been a really fun read. It feels to me like something that 2000 AD might have published in the sort of late 80s, early 90s, which from me is very high praise indeed. It deals with family and culture and belonging and where you belong when you're the only one left, and the importance of connection. It's just a stunning piece of work, written, drawn and lettered by Sumigi Kesgin, possibly Kesgin, I'm not entirely sure on the pronunciation. Coloured by Kesgin with Ellie Wright, and it's a stunning piece of work which you should be reading. If you have any love of science fiction at all, Voyages, it's just brilliant. Then we have Witcher, The Ballad of Two Wolves. Toss a coin to your Witcher, because this is fun. Toss a coin and buy some Witcher. If you are a fan of the games or the show, I think you'll like the comics too. They hit the right sort of note. And the art's perhaps a little cartoony, but I don't think any the worse for that, actually. Then we have Wonder Woman. She is currently under the spell of Eros, which is appropriate. It was Valentine's Day this month, so we'll allow it. There's also a backup story here featuring the adventures of young Diana, but I want to focus on the main story because I'm really enjoying it. And I like everything about the current run of Wonder Woman. Becky Cloonan's writing is fantastic. I think the art's great. I even like the fact that it's gone, and I don't know how well you can see this, but it's printed on not that horrible glossy paper stock that comics started using about 10-15 years ago, but actually on a sort of rougher, not quite newsprint, but newsprint adjacent kind of matte paper, which I think works so much better for comics. So pleased about that too. If you've ever thought about jumping on board with Wonder Woman, I really should go back and do a retake on that, but I'm not going to. If you've been thinking about jumping on board the Wonder Woman train, is what I was trying to say, then this is a really good time to do it. Cloonan's run is just awesome. And then, finally, the very last comic on the rack this week. Batman Superman World's Finest 12. It is a date between Robin and Supergirl. Now, on the cover he is wearing Tim's suit, but I think it's supposed to be Dick. I haven't read the issue yet, but I think it's supposed to be Dick. I'm genuinely unclear why Tim would be on a date with Supergirl, for many reasons. So, it's good fun. It looks good fun. I like the art style. Again, it's bright, it's vibrant. World's Finest, since it came back, has been a joy. And this looks like it's going to be just another instalment in that joyful run. And that's it. That's the rack for Wednesday, the 22nd of February 2023. There is nothing else to tell you about. Behold it in all its magnificence. And then, maybe think about coming down and buying something. It's just a thought. We are open Wednesday, Thursday and Friday afternoons, 1 p.m. until 5:30 p.m. and on Saturdays from 11 a.m. until 5:30 p.m. and we'd love to see you. If you missed any of the 8 parts of this week's What's on the Rack, they will all be available fairly shortly, if they're not all available already, over on our website. That's www.destinationvenus.co.uk. And of course, the entire rack is here, under the stairs at the Everyman Cinema, for you to come and enjoy. Okay, that's it for this week. We will see you next week with another fantastic rack of comics. Until then, be kind to yourself, be kind to everybody else. Stay safe, stay geeky, and above all else, love comics. We will see you soon. Take care, folks.